Hey, what's up, guys? Just hooking up my earpiece. I actually have to get a mic.
Usually use a headset when I speak on here, but it's just so bulky. Like I don't like the way that it looks on camera, so I switched over to using earpods, because it just looks more seamless. But the quality on the playback isn't as great as it could be. So I had already noticed that, and that is on my wish list. So if you want to go ahead and support in any way, go ahead and check out the links in the bio, in a description, when you get a chance, and donate to the coffee shop so that way we can get on top of that pronto and go ahead and get that microphone situation taken care of. For those of you that are new here, I'm Ace. I do SEO. I'm an online business strategist focusing on SEO and organic traffic, primarily from Google and social media. And I've developed my own strategies that turned out to be proven strategies, mixed with things that I've learned, working with different clients, as well as, working at corporate advertising sales at different junctures of my career. So I've developed a social SEO system that gets results for my clients. So what I'm here to do is just basically, help more people on board to this online entrepreneurship um, lifestyle, so to speak, because it is, a lot of moving parts, a lot of ins and outs. And I typically like to look at the overall landscape of what's going on by forecasting the market. We typically forecast the market by following Bloomberg, specifically Bloomberg City Lab. That's where we see a lot of developments, across entrepreneurship, um, globalization, and just learning entrepreneurship from a financial aspect, following mainstream events. So we follow Bloomberg City Lab, Bloomberg Finance, Bloomberg News, of course, Bloomberg Radio. So we follow Bloomberg, everything over here, for our mainstream news. And then, of course, Google updates for our search. And then social updates, we're following Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, of course. I do incorporate LinkedIn, but I'm not as active on LinkedIn because I tend to see, older people that are already established in professional associations and affiliations on LinkedIn, and a lot of motivational speakers and stuff like that. I don't see a lot of young people that I'm trying to reach in the entrepreneurship onboarding space on LinkedIn. And this is mainly for people that are already online, but you're just trying to get more organized with your organic traffic. You're trying to get more organized with the way you present your links and landing pages. And obviously, optimizing your calls to actions and optimizing your content for performance. So um, I'm very good at that. However, this is a ever changing space. So even though I consider myself an expert, I've been called an expert. There's just a degree of flexibility that you have to have, to be able to forecast into future markets, which is why we follow, Bloomberg news and updates, because while the optimization and the search and the social is all happening, we still have to be able to anchor that to what's happening in the markets. When it comes to crypto, when it comes to how the money is moving and things like that. And we bridge that gap with what's happening at the local level, not just for local business, but more so local search. So it basically shows us what's happening on the business side, but also the consumer side. So for those of you that follow consumer updates, that are in buying positions and sponsorship positions, and you just want to have better consumer insights, this will be good for you as well. So lately, the market has been talking about recession going into 2023, as well as more inflation, which is seeming to drive the conversation We've seen that crypto is hitting, some bumps in the road with the recent FTX fallout, as well as Bitcoin being, at a low again, which has happened earlier this year, but it came back around 33,000. I think that was around maybe August or so. Don't quote me. This is just a briefing. I wouldn't say this is an official update, but just a briefing, just on market observations, getting some feedback out there, and then of course I'll follow up later on with some data and statistics for you guys to match um, with what's going on your side of the table. So the main thing that I wanted to iterate here is uh, how search is literally driving the market, but it's not necessarily incorporated into our everyday campaigns, and it may not be incorporated into. Excuse me, guys, I'm streaming right now. Want to try to go to the living room, please? If you want to sit down with you. Okay, I just want you to go to the living room, please. Thank you. I'll be ready to go in a second. Thank you, guys. So, we don't really see search a part of the market forecast, and that's what we wanted to bridge with this briefing, and to really get consumers involved in the conversation, as well as as well as merchants, local business owners, talking to their customers, and or getting feedback in a way that's just outside of data and charts. Which is why I just wanted to sit down and have just a normal briefing and just kind of update everyone of what it looks like on my side of the table. So right now, with everything getting back to normal from I guess you would call it the post-pandemic reset, with people going back to work and everything like that. We're still seeing not so many local business. We're still seeing businesses not taking up as much space as they could, rather, on local search. So what does that mean? That means when I'm searching for a pediatrician in my area, when I'm searching for a service provider in my area, whether it's an electrician or a plumber, I'm seeing more businesses that are outside of a certain radius is what I would consider a drivable distance. When I know it's businesses right here in this area that can service, that can service me. So what does that tell me? It tells me that they're not listing their businesses, so that's money that's not going into the local economy, because when you list your business locally, your business is served to local search, and it lets more money stay in your neighborhood versus, you know, um, people spending money with service providers that they found outside of a drivable radius. So if you're living in DC, that means that when you're driving around, you may be seeing a lot of service vehicles from Virginia or from Baltimore or from other area codes that are outside of the DC area. The same thing goes with the drivable distance and the commutable area of the DMV. So what I'm seeing here is um, this area seems to be, or certain areas, certain metro areas, I would say, seem to be what is considered prime real estate for businesses that are outside of those areas. So businesses that are in more rural areas that need to be able to drive into a commutable area to be able to work and make money are advertising into those areas, where as though the local businesses that literally sit there is not covering that area. So when we follow the Bloomberg reports and we hear of inflation, and then we go and reference inflation, and we see what that translates to our market and what that looks like on the local level, inflation literally is telling us that there is not enough supply to meet the demand. So it's driving up the cost of the supply. We've seen this in the um, agricultural. It was early in spring, or maybe early in summer, excuse me, late spring or early in summer, when farmers were starting to say, hey, this whole farm to table is getting more expensive for us. because it's costing us more to be able to feed our animals. We're seeing this with the gas prices. Obviously, that's a global market, so that's a little bit beyond what's happening on a global level. Nonetheless, we're seeing this ripple effect, and now we're seeing it in the in the financial side. So, what does that mean as far as protecting ourselves and hedging? What they say in on Bloomberg, you hear them saying hedging a lot, meaning how do you protect yourself from decline or loss of money, loss of income? And that simply is you have to go where you have to fish where the fish are. You have to go where the demand is in the market. And that's going to start with the conversations of connecting buyers to sellers in the most simple way. Whether you're working in your business or working on your business message with your call to action offer should be out there every single day. So, with that being said, that's what I'm here to fill in a gap. Whether you're on a local level or a national level, there's a way to bridge that gap. We're seeing a lot in the economic reports. Is total shift happening with the fall of FTX, which a lot predicted when they bought the naming rights to the stadium or arena out on the West Coast. So it's not to say that these type of upsets to the market will devastate the market completely, because when the banks needed bailouts, nobody said, okay, we're going to stop using money. So I liken it to the same thing. Like I said, I'm going to get back to the numbers, going to get further into the research more. I just wanted to chime in with a quick insight that inflation is a solvable problem when we look at it from a micro to macro perspective, and what we can do, the smallest pivots that we can make to start to make a change. So go ahead, weigh in on the conversation. Like I said, I'll be back with more updates and statistics as we get deeper insights and more data. Because right now, that's also, as a data dependent, data reliant ecosystem, it's important to have the right research, not just having, conversations, but also having the right research and the right numbers, because you can pull numbers from anywhere that want to tell a specific story. So it's necessary that we compare what the market reports are saying to what the search reports are saying. So, like I said, I'll be back with more updates. Send me your questions, your industry questions, or your questions in general to research, whether it's for general research or case studies. You can send your questions over to Ace at aceonline.solutions. I'm about to head out. Talk to you guys later. Peace.